my first recommendation was in fact for South Australian leadership. I called it Sustained States United for Sustainability, the Adelaide Network. And Adelaide is much less threatening than big places like California or Guangdong province. So here's this one state, and if it had a leadership role where it would call together, say, 100 or 200, hopefully 300, major states, cantons, provinces from all around the world, from every country, who shared the deal, let's have a sustainability agenda. We're not going to wait for our national governments. They're moving too slowly. They're moving, in some ways, too greedily toward national interest rather than toward people's interests of protecting nature. They could create an alignment that would have a lot of political power. And Premier Mike Rann is actually very excited about that idea, and he's looking for co-sponsors. And I suggested, well, consider places like California, like South Africa, because they're all similar in climate to South Australia. They're all, therefore, threatened by climate change because they're already hot and dry in the summer, and they're more vulnerable states. And then bring in other states of other kinds. And he has many connections, and so do I, and we're going to work together to try to get an Adelaide network of states. Now, this is not just a discussion club. They have to go beyond that. They have to have a business plan. They have to have internal cap and trade mechanisms. But by having a large number of states, it lowers the costs because there are many opportunities to trade across lots of states. And this does not require the permission of State Departments, and foreign offices, because it's not a treaty. It's a business deal. It's a contract. So the network would try to figure out what's cost effective, what's environmentally effective, what's fair, where's the low-hanging fruit, the cheap opportunities, how can we buy and sell across each other, and in a way do it much more cheaply and much more effectively than if we did it alone. And unfortunately, if we waited for the national governments to get there, we'd be waiting a long time for very little real action.